Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Charity Lambert and I am a makeup artist and a star beauty guide with LimeLife by Alcone. I really wanted to do this video for all my people out there that like a light, easy foundation, no fuss, but also maybe have problems with pores, and also people that just have no time. This is going to be a perfect solution for you guys because it is the easiest way to wear our Botanical Wax foundation from LimeLife, which I think and I believe to be the top selling foundation worldwide for a reason, and it holds up to everything. So if you want to find out a little bit more about this, just keep watching. Okay, so jumping right into it, I'm going to start off by saying primer. Primer is so important. It doesn't matter if you're going with a minimalist approach or full face. I honestly do not skip primer. I know everyone says, what do I need a primer for? Is it just another step? Is it something that's like an upsell? But I am here to tell you that honestly, primer makes the difference. It can be night and day for some people. So especially if you have bigger pores, or even if you just want to go with a light application of foundation, this is gonna help you achieve the best bang for your buck. So you can have the most gorgeous luxury foundation, but if you don't prime your face before, you're not going to get the most benefits out of it. So I already went ahead and primed my face because I wanted to do my eyeshadow first, and it really gives it an interface to connect with, to stick to. It kind of seals over the fine lines. It sandwiches it between that and your setting spray, so it lasts so much longer. There's so many reasons I would exhaust this tutorial if I went through all of them. So just know that this I really recommend. This is LimeLife's first base makeup primer. So once you've sprayed that all over and you've let it dry, I actually take my fingers and I kind of rub it in just to make sure I'm really getting it in every little crevice and place in my skin. And then I'm going to start off by showing you two ways to do foundation. Both will work with larger pores because the brush we use for it is what makes the difference. The other thing I do have to mention this. This is really important. I want to tell you guys the difference between a wax foundation and a liquid foundation, because if you honestly have never tried a wax foundation before, now is the time, because if you're watching this tutorial, you either want a really light application of foundation, you haven't been happy with foundation before, or you find that it sinks right into your pores. So the beauty of using a wax foundation is it's super buildable. You cannot build with other wet foundations the same way as you can with a wax foundation. You can keep layering it where you need it to have the full coverage that you're looking for, or go as light as you want just to have a very soft filtered effect on your skin. I have a theory that I shared with my Facebook group recently that I think as we age, we start to hate foundation because wet foundation dries to your face, right? Wet dries, okay? So once it dries to your skin, and as you age, your skin is not as soft and supple as it was when you were younger. It has a lot more movement to it. It's starting to sag and move a lot. So guess what happens to things that have dried on it? It starts to shift and crack, and you get like bigger cracks in your skin. You start to show up fine lines in here. I've recently had this happen, which is why I was thinking of it. And I tried a foundation and everybody loved it, but they're all in their 20s. And I'm not in my 20s, I'm in my 30s. And so when I got to thinking about this, I realized it's more about what the foundation is doing on your skin, particularly, that makes it different for us. So wax foundation does not dry. So crazy when you think about that. It sets to your face, and because of the wax formulation, it's constantly on a micro level resetting to your skin. So your skin's warm all the time, so you're smiling lots, you're having a good day. You're not going to see a lot of the cracks show up in the foundation the same way, because the warmth from your skin is going to soften the product, and it's going to start to just settle back onto where it was. And I mean, you don't see this at like a big level if this is scaring you. Trust me, it's at a micro level. You don't even know what's happening. You don't feel the foundation. This is just why I think it's the difference, and it makes it work for everybody, young and older. You want to cover up acne and things like that? Boom, just double layer it in those spots. Anyway, so I'm going to jump into what you came here for in this tutorial, and I'm going to show you two quick and easy methods to achieve a minimalist, very natural foundation, and also what you can do if you want to increase it just a little bit into a faster approach. Okay, so the first things first, Skin Therapy is the lotion base I'm going to use for this. So we're just going to go ahead and create our own tinted moisturizer. So to make it even way more simple, I'm going to even mix it using the brush that we're going to apply it with. So this is the brush number 17. It's a wonderful diffusing brush. It really helps to work the foundation into the skin. So if you have pores, and now this is where it becomes really important for you guys, it's going to help to buff the foundation into those pores so that it doesn't sink and turn into potholes. We all know what that's like. It's no fun, and when that starts to happen, you put more on and then you start to get caking from that wet foundation. Well, you won't achieve that issue with this. Okay, so take a little bit of our wax foundation. This is all of 2, and we're gonna mix it onto the back of our palette. It's so simple. We do not have to complicate this. So I just take a little bit onto the back of my brush, just like that, and I just put it on there. Just like that. Then you're just going to take a drop of Skin Therapy. Depending how much coverage or how light you want this to be, you're going to experiment with it to find out the perfect mix, how much foundation you'll need. Then you're just going to take it and you're just going to smear it together. Just like that. And then I just take and I spread it on my face, just so I don't waste any product. So, and I start there, and I start working in that little bit of pre-mixed foundation. And so with this diffuser brush, you really just want to do little, I guess, micro half circles. You really just need to kind of buff it into the skin like that. And so this is also the fastest way to apply foundation. Now, if you have acne scars and all that to cover up beforehand, I would say apply your concealer to cover up your blemishes first, then do this on top, and then do another touch-up right after. For myself, I don't have any acne scars at the moment, so I'm going to do all of my concealing and that after. So it's just like that. So just buffing, nothing really to it. I'm going to dip back into my tinted moisturizer, and I'm just going to do my forehead. I'm only doing half because I'm going to show you on the other half how I go right into the foundation for a lighter. It's a slightly heavier coverage than this, but still very light and very natural. Okay, so got my half face on. Okay, so now for the other half I'm going to show you. So people that are like, you know what, I'm okay with a little bit more coverage and I don't really have time to mix up a tinted moisturizer in 10 seconds. So this is what you're going to do. You just go right into your wax foundation. Just like that. And because of this particular brush, it is going to apply it really, really naturally. So I've done previous videos on using, I would say it's like a medium application of foundation. I used this brush, if you want to go see that. It is a method that I use when I kind of just need a little bit more coverage. So that is going to work really well for that. This one, you're going to get light coverage. So it's almost impossible to overdo it with this guy. You'd have to literally cake it back in there and really spread out lots of foundation on your face. So it's super beginner friendly, especially if you're just getting into wax foundation. If you're getting into makeup in general, you're probably a little bit scared of makeup to begin with. So this is gonna just make it so easy. You just don't have to think about it. I'm gonna go back in, just a couple dabs, and just keep buffing. So again, if you have pores on your forehead or things that you really wanna, you just keep buffing it in kind of a circular motion over those areas. It will totally fill it in. You will not get the usual foundation orange peel effect that you might have always noticed. So and the beautiful thing about a wax foundation that you can't achieve with anything else is the fact that when you do buff it, especially with this method, it is going to bring up the luster of your skin. So if you have really good skincare, it's going to really show that off. You're going to get a really glowy looking face. I can't say enough about this foundation. Honestly, I just probably talk about it way too much, but moving on to concealing before I finish off this tutorial, I do it after, like I said, because I don't really have to cover anything up. I have been on LimeLife skincare for quite some time now, so my skin is in the best shape it's ever been in. So now, moving on. So for my skin color is concealer number 3. So I do get a little bit of redness around my nose, so I'll just go on top. And I'm using brush number 7. It's the large shadow brush from LimeLife. I use it for almost everything. Eyeshadow, concealing, you name it, I probably used it for that. So this is a brush I would say that is a really good investment. You'll get a lot out of it. And then now for the brightening, I'm gonna go in concealer number 2, and I just go under my eyes. I never start right below my under eye. I kind of start a little bit below that area, and I start to work my way up. Because as we age, we don't really need a ton of product under our eyes, especially if you have a lot of skin folds and gathering and wrinkles. Maybe you're a little bit older, but still wanting to get into makeup. Start here, and you can kind of just work it all the way up. Just little dabbing motions, just like that. And now if you are wanting to do kind of a little bit more brightening, you could go with a concealer number 0 by LimeLife. It is a little bit lighter yet. For me, for the minimalists out there that just want a little bit of dark circle coverage, you're just gonna want something that's gonna get the job done. And if you're one of those people that's like, I don't need 2 concealers, then I would actually recommend getting if you don't have a lot of blemishes, just go with number 2. Because if you're an olive 2, that is. Of course, it changes depending on your color tone on your face, but brightening is kind of the most important step to achieving a very flawless looking face. So that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to show you guys for today. I didn't want to make this super complicated. From this point on, I'm just going to go in with my color powder and set everything. I don't think I've done a video on the color powder yet. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Guess what's coming up next? Okay, thank you so much for joining, guys, and if you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments and questions, please feel free. I love to read through them and talk with you guys. Thank you so much. Till next time.